Good morning, 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. Hope you're doing well today. And we'll turn off the music here. And hey, it's a Monday. And it's 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. I am Greg Mester, Scrum Master and Agile Coach. And I found this awesome t-shirt. I don't know. Bubbles, can you see it? It says the longest journey begins with a single step. And it's part of the Appalachian Trail. Turned out and went camping this weekend, and I was like 30 minutes away from this museum, which is a halfway point in the Appalachian Trail. I'm like, we're going because one of my goals is to hike the Appalachian Trail. Maybe the whole thing, I don't know, just parts of it, get through Pennsylvania. Let's start there. Take my family, get in shape to do that. So I got this t-shirt. It was awesome. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and what this shirt says, and also going to talk about technical PO, because last week we had some questions about that and people wanted to chat about it. So I figured we'll do a little bit of both. And welcome to the show, 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show, where we talk about Scrum and Agile in a practical and tactical way so you can bring value to customer, not for crazy hours to get there, get home to family and friends, and maybe hike the Appalachian Trail. So I got a little armband thing here. It's pretty cool. So it's always good to have fun, right? Have fun at work and what we do and not make it crazy. Watch those Agile accountants, by the way. They're everywhere. So what about the shirt? What about the longest journey begins with a single step? A lot of people like to talk about the Agile journey, right? They like to call it a journey, right? Bubbles over here. You want to say hi? Come here. You just took a bath. There she is. For all those in podcast world, I just woke up the cat and messed her up. Oh, I'm sorry, Bubbles. Come on, Bubbles. I disturbed her from her process. What do I got behind me? Oh, the back of the couch here. Cattail. Woohoo. For those cattail videos. So what about the journey? What's the first step? What's the hardest step in an Agile journey is taking it. Now you can get a lot of people do it, and I just wanted to talk about that a little bit because every journey you go on to, every mission, the hardest step is like me going to hike the Appalachian Trail. Well, the hardest step is getting in the gym every day and working out a little bit and getting in shape so I can do it without dying. But that's different. So here on the Agile journey, what would be a good first step? To be honest with you, do a little reading on it, read one of the different things. Some people like quoting this stuff for gospel, but it's really the mindset, the Agile manifesto, working with people over processes and tools. And the first step is the people. If you're a new Scrum Master on a team, and there's probably a lot of people out there, or you're an existing Scrum Master, when was the last time you had a little meet and greet with your team where you just said, look, I just want to propose this, let's take next sprint, take a little bit of time, put a story in there for us to do a meet and greet. You can do that beginning of a team, when you got a team established. If you haven't done it in a while, my suggestion is to do it. Take that first step, make that bold move. Everyone says, oh, it's a team. Sometimes the Scrum Master is like, you know what? I think we need to sit as a team, put a story in the backlog, give it a point for those who want a point. To take some time off to do that. Now, when you do this, do an event, do something, get to know each other. We talk about fun things on Fridays, except for last Friday was kind of interesting. But establish with the people, get the people. If you want, revisit your norms, visit one of your documents you have. I always promote team norms, definition ready and definition done. Make it work related. How are we doing norm wise? Revisit it. Just take a little second as you do some fun. Hey, I want to revisit our team norms and make sure we're all still in sync, because there's always something out there that goes awry. Coming to meetings or updating stuff or communicating or anything. And then just having some fun. Just go meet each other and go see what they did over the weekend, right? Change up your daily Scrum. What fun thing did you do last? My last fun thing was go camping with my family. My next fun thing, I would like to go hiking on the trail. What's blocking me from having fun? Finding the time with all the sports and activities and squeezing it in there, finding a spot close enough that we could drive out to the mountains, hike a little bit, and then drive back, without killing ourselves and wearing the dog sitter and all this. So those are the kind of things you could do. But asking that fun question, because one, as a Scrum Master and Agile coach, if your team is not having fun or they can't get away and have fun. And I heard a video this morning. I was listening to a podcast, Chris Terrell. He talks about getting healthy and everything. And he mentioned about there's no reason why you can't have a little fun and get rid of boredom in the middle of the week. So maybe there's something during the middle of the week you have some fun to. Like, hey, challenge everyone. What are we going to do? So get out there, take that first step, meet with the people. It's tough talking to people, especially if you're an introvert. It's a very tough thing to do. Maybe you're an extrovert, but then you got to figure out how I bring the introverts into the conversation. Make something fun. I don't know. But get everyone together. So that's your very first step. And maybe I'll talk about more stuff and the Agile journey on that. But anyway, the first step is always the hardest. It's where do we start? You just start somewhere. And I'll give you one more example. When we went camping, my wife got a new or hand-me-down free tent, right? And I complain about it. It's like, oh God. She wants I want to set up boat tents this week. Like, we don't have much time. So we ended up putting up the boat tents. We did it. The other team was hey, good morning. And everything was good. Except it leaked. But we would have never known. There's a little hole in it. Of course, it's free because it leaks, right? We figure out where the hole is in the tent or what's causing the leak. And but it was good. Lessons learned. But do we try everything out before we go? No, we don't. We experiment. We learn. I learned that if it, good thing to be take a trash bag with you. So when it does rain, because it will rain, it's gonna happen. Take the trash bag, take the tents and all that stuff, and toss it in the bag and get moving. But should we have never started camping without that? No. We want to get going. And that's the problem with a lot of these groups. Nobody wants to get going. So they're like, oh, we can't do it. So that's one of the things you got to think about when you do that. So with that, just start. Don't wait. Don't do it. Don't wait for that. And so let's talk about technical PO, and I'm transitioning because I made a promise last week that I would talk a little bit about the technical PO, and I'm just going to give one pointer on this because I don't want to do a super long show. But on the technical PO side, it's okay to have a technical PO. Some people like it has to be business. It has to be that. The question I have, and I get this from listening to developers, listening to their own podcasts, listening to what's going on with them, where they say they don't like Scrum Masters or product owners who tell them how to do their job, how to code. If you're a technical PO, do not write code. Do not assume that you're going to tell the team how to code. You might say, hey, I want to develop this and I want this interface. But don't go in like if you're doing a database, laying out how to call out the structure, how to sort the table, how to build that, how to build the back end of whatever system you're doing. Just say you want this to do whatever, right? You got to stay high. If you're going to be a technical PO and you start getting to the technical business of the team, they're going to reject you fast. And you know what? When everything fails, whose fault is it? And this is one thing I coach everyone. It's like, why don't I move stuff across the board? Why don't I put things to done? Why don't I do this? And I had this conversation on Friday with one of my coachees. It's because if it fails, whose fault is it? It's yours. So as a technical PO, if you tell the team how to develop something, they don't own the responsibility of what's going on. So you have to be careful as a technical PO. And if you're a Scrum Master and you have a technical PO, it's fine as long as they're not telling everyone how to code. Once you break that barrier, you got to have a conversation. Comes the courage part with that technical PO. You have to say, back off. Well, you don't say it that way, but you have to have that discussion. So that's my first thing on the technical PO. What is a limitation of having such a thing? As long as you're not telling the dev team how to code or how to build a product, they just supposed to say what they want to build, right? And maybe they bridge that gap I would also challenge a technical PO. Are you out there with the business, showing the business how to use the tool? Are you being that product owner interface with the customer? Are you developing those tools? And if they're not, you got to bring them up to speed on how to do that. And one of the books I love is called The Sprint, which I don't have handy because I just thought of it. Share, if you have a technical PO, buy them a copy as a gift of The Sprint. I think it's NAB is the guy who wrote it, but buy a copy of that book, give it to your technical PO, because it talks about getting customer feedback, doing all that stuff. They may need that help. And plus, it's nice to buy people books. They can read it and get better at what they do. So I would suggest that book for a technical PO as a gift. I've done it before. I bought that book for a few people. I really enjoyed it. So with that, that's what I have for those two subjects today. And again, the first step, right? It begins with the first step. So the longest journey begins with a single step. So as you go through this Agile journey to be a Scrum Master, to be an Agile coach, the first step starts with the first step. So you got to try somewhere. Feel free to message me if you have any questions or anything like that. And I wish you the best. And I hope you all get to go camping, because you want to talk about being unprepared. Camping will teach you about surviving and alternate plans and how to adjust. And one of the things, I put a little TikTok out there for, I had the fire going on for Saturday night. Taking value, the most value out of that time. It turned out we can do that. Ooh, what's the name of the book? Kelvin, the name of the book is called The Sprint, and it's SPRINT, Sprint. And I believe it's by NAB, KNABB, I think. Or no, NAP. KNAPP, NAP is the person who wrote that book. But give that as a gift to your technical person, or yourself. Read it. If you haven't read it, it's a great book. It's kind of how Slack and a couple other programs started, how they did everything in a week. And it's a beautiful thing. So I'll write, and I'll comment later on my chat, but it's Sprint by NAP. I know this doesn't go out into LinkedIn. I have to go comment on LinkedIn, but it's out in YouTube and it's out in Facebook as far as that book is concerned. With that, I want to wish you all the best. Have a great day. Enjoy it. We're at the 12-minute mark. See, we had this whole show under 15 minutes. I don't know why people can't have daily scrums 15 minutes. Yeah, what are you going to do? Just keep working on them. All right. You all take care. I'm going to go off into the music world and log off, and see you tomorrow. Happy Scrumming. Wish you all the best. I will comment on LinkedIn the name of the book and a picture. I think I have a picture somewhere on one of my many posts. So take care. Enjoy.